The Prostate Cancer Foundation was created with one goal in mind: to end the death and suffering caused by prostate cancer in all men. In 1993, when we were founded, no one wanted to be in the field of prostate cancer research. It was considered a research backwater. Research was just not being done for this disease the way it was being done for other cancers. And yet prostate cancer is the most commonly diagnosed cancer in men after skin cancer. So before we could even start funding research, we had to energize the field and make it one that researchers really wanted to go into. The Prostate Cancer Foundation's ultimate goal is to put an end to the death and suffering caused by prostate cancer in all men by finding cures for this disease. Immediate goals include understanding how and why 1 in 6 men get prostate cancer and why some diagnoses are more aggressive than others. We also support scientists as they try to treat patients faster, more scientifically, and more effectively by connecting families and clinicians to the latest standard of care information, research, and clinical trials. Simply put, $1 of investment in the PCF can exert a force of at least $20 applied to cancer research. We use multiple strategies to maximize output from fixed resources to generate broader support from other academic, foundation, philanthropic, government, venture capital, biotech, and pharma industries. To quickly accomplish our research goals, PCF uses a model of venture philanthropy that has changed the entire landscape for funding scientific research. Cash in, cash out rapidly to support research in the world where it's going to make the biggest difference for a patient. PCF makes funding decisions within 60 days of the proposal and funds researchers in no more than 90 days. PCF also recruits the best scientists in the world to energize the field, young and old, through programs such as our Young Investigator Program, our Creativity Awards, and groundbreaking, out-of-the-box research awards we call Challenge Awards. All this effort is accelerating discovery and bringing cures. PCF identifies the most promising research not being funded by the National Cancer Institute or anybody else. We then recruit from around the world the best scientists and physicians to energize the field, to do the breakthrough work, and we limit award applications to just 10 pages, and we fund them within 90 days. This efficient, quick turnaround and interest in the best ideas makes us very effective in getting those funds to those who need them. Additionally, we require our awardees to share the results of their work unpublished with other investigators every year to increase dialogue and collaboration within the research community. The ultimate metric of success is fewer men are dying. So we monitor this in 18 countries where we're supporting research around the world. PCF staff also closely reviews and monitors our funded investigators and researchers to ensure efficiency and collaboration. This monitoring involves site visits at the universities and the hospitals, progress reports every 6 months, mandatory sharing of unpublished data every year at our annual scientific retreat. Through all the reviews, and we use a number of scientist volunteers as a jury of peers, PCF stresses the importance of collaboration and accountability and keeping the needs of the patient first. No other foundation, to our knowledge, has a more comprehensive view of the landscape of prostate cancer 24/7 or a grasp of its most promising research every week than the Prostate Cancer Foundation. Our obligation to our donor investors and to our patients and to the science we support is to gather and guide funding as efficiently and as effectively and as innovatively as possible. To fulfill this, PCF's leadership team convenes 3 one-hour due diligence meetings each week to maintain a watchtower perspective over projects so that we know more about where the research is progressing than anyone else on the planet. And in that respect, we know more as the brains behind prostate cancer research than any other organization on Earth. People are often surprised to learn that while we fund research around the world, 16 countries right now. We operate from one small office in Santa Monica, California. We have intentionally kept our staff size small in order to ensure more of the funds raised go to research and not to overhead. People are familiar with many great disease-specific foundations and their chapters. That's just not us. We don't have chapters, but we do try to have just as much of an impact on prostate cancer and prostate cancer research. Since PCF was created, there have been a number of advances in prostate cancer treatment. The number of FDA-approved drugs for prostate cancer has increased from 7 to 17. PCF has helped add more than 44 new medicines to the current clinical trials pipeline. The most important thing is we have reduced deaths from prostate cancer by 40%. A diagnosis of prostate cancer is not a death sentence anymore. Even though the number of men getting the disease is going up, the death rate from prostate cancer is going down. The biggest challenge, and also the greatest opportunity, was the lack of prostate cancer research being conducted in the United States when the foundation was launched. From what Forbes magazine called a research backwater in 1993, the prostate cancer field, because of interest and funding generated by PCF, has attracted more than 1,300 medical scientists into prostate cancer research in the last 20 years. Fragmented and underfunded in 1993, the community of cancer centers and medical schools and hospitals actively pursuing prostate cancer cures and applying their findings to other deadly cancers has now grown to include virtually every major cancer research center in North America, in Europe, and dozens more worldwide. Because progress for patients is accelerating in our field, we are seeing more life-saving research proposals potentially come through the door that we're just not able to fund. If given additional resources, PCF's sole objective would be to fund more game-changing research. PCF aims to transform this devastating condition from life-threatening to something that can be eradicated, controlled, or prevented. Our progress to date makes the prospect of totally eliminating prostate cancer deaths in our lifetimes a real possibility, but we still need your help. The pace of prostate cancer research, life-saving research, is accelerating so quickly, and PCF is producing results so quickly, it's hard for patients and their families and nurses and doctors to keep up with it. And yet cuts made to the budgets of the National Cancer Institute and the elimination of cancer research programs of the Department of Defense are now threatening to slow this accelerated progress. A huge gap PCF could fill would be to get the information to patients and families and nurses and doctors in a whole new way. Every patient, a precision diagnosis, a precision prescription, a precision plan. PCF's research funding works in concert with the science, with the patients, and with these precious government-funded programs. Despite our track record of success, PCF simply cannot replace the entire reduction in public funding we see up ahead potentially for cancer research. PCF can, however, identify the world's absolutely most promising, high-risk, life-saving projects. And these research efforts could have the greatest impact in the shortest amount of time to put men in remission, prevent disease, and death. This is the work that is worth supporting. For the 238,000 men diagnosed in the United States every year with prostate cancer, this is the research we must save.